Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. So in this video I'll be demonstrating you how you can send emails using Node.js and SendGrid as an email sending service. So when it comes to sending emails or marketing campaigns, you basically send emails like in um, simple text format with no templating within it. But when it comes to marketing campaigns, you need to send an entire HTML documented file or a template within an email, right, to multiple recipients. So with the help of SendGrid and Node.js, we are exactly going to do that. So over here you can see SendGrid is a service, one of the service. Uh, we also have multiple other options like Mailgun and SendGrid also, but SendGrid is pretty much good for doing this kind of an operation and marketing campaigns and things like that. You can read the documentation and services of SendGrid. As you can see, send APIs. We can use APIs using we can basically use the APIs of SendGrid to send emails to multiple recipients at a single time with templated format. Sorry. We also have the SendGrid marketing campaign. So you can send uh, thousands and lakhs of emails at a single time with a well documented HTML format as well. It is another kind of service which SendGrids provide. You can learn more over here in the documentation or the on their website basically. So this is SendGrid, and we are going to use Node.js for uh, doing the entire process of sending email with templates. So over here, you can navigate to their sorry to their API references and which I have already opened over here. So just navigate to developers and API references. So within that, you can see the entire API documentation, each and every single endpoint they provide to perform the task or functionality or the services they kind of provide in the UI, but in the form of API. If you want to perform it, you can use this. So we have a bunch of services or endpoints over here, so you can go through based on your requirement. But for this video I'm going to demonstrate how you can send emails with templates. So over here you can navigate to the mail send section. So right over here, as you can see, we have a post request mail slash send, and a bunch of languages supported over here, so that their documentation is pretty good. You get a good documentation based on different languages like Python, Node.js, and things like that. So this is the Node.js documentation on the GitHub, and you can also select Python, C Sharp, Java based on your requirement. So when you sign up for this service, you'll be getting a free tier service. So you can sign up for a free trial just for the testing purpose. For 3 months I guess you can send 40,000 emails per month, and so for per month you'll be able to send 40,000 emails. So you can sign up for the free trial and test their services, and if you like it you can pay ahead, right? So once you are done with the sign up procedure, uh, you'll get a dashboard something like this. So this is my dashboard over here. So I have done a pretty good hands-on experience with this. So I have this ups and downs over here, basically a graph. And over here on the left hand side you can see their email API and stats. Then over here you can create your own API. So this is necessary. So after signing up and navigating to your dashboard, you can create your own API using this button or this option over here. You'll be able to see the API only once using the UI, so make sure you note it down in a file or somewhere uh, secret, and you'll be able to see it only once, because this is not the API. As you can see over here, this is just the API name. I was confused a bit in the starting, so make sure this is just the API name, not the API key. Even this one is not your API key. So when you create it, you have a bunch of actions over here: full access, restricted, and billing access. You can just go with the full access, provide a name, whatever name you want to see, and create and view. So when you click on create and view, you'll able to see the API key at that particular moment. After that you will not be able to see, or else you will have to create a new API, right? So make sure you create your API key from this settings option, API key, and once you save it, uh, you can pretty much use this endpoint. So as you can see over here, you can try it out from here itself. So this is their trial kind of a section, playground kind of a section, where you can use the given code based on your language with their API endpoint. So this is the endpoint from where you're going to send your emails. It is a post request, and this is the body which we are going to use for sending emails. So this is basically the entire body, and this is the Node.js code, as you can see. But we are going to use the API endpoint with our own template. Here you can see the template ID and things like that. You can also create your own template using the drag and drop feature. I'll just show you over here. You can navigate to marketing and send single sends. Once you get the hands of the once you get your hands on the single send section, you can create your own automated kind of a functionality where you can create your own template using drag and drop feature and things like that. But I'll use the API over here. So let's close this, and once you are done with sign up and creating your API, things like that, make sure you have your API key handy. And this is the documentation of the API. Please do refer this documentation. It will be pretty much good for you to get more knowledge about this service. So here in the definition, you can see the parameters you can send it in the body. So for example, within the personalization array, you can send an array of objects, so where you want to provide the email ID and name, and the CC, BCC, then headers, and 68 parameters, I assume. Yes, 68 parameters with any attachments. So over here you can also attach things, basically a file name or a file path which is locally present. You can use this, and attach it to your uh, email. So we'll be using this endpoint for sending emails to multiple recipients. So let's once you're done with this entire sign up and creating your API key and that, we'll be using this API endpoint to make a post call and send emails. So let's move on to the code part. Uh, let's open up a Visual Studio Code, which is over here. I have the entire app up and running, but for now I have not installed the dependencies. So let's do that first. So we'll just open the terminal and npm init. So this is just like a file for maintaining your dev dependencies and telling that you have this dependencies installed in this app. So we'll do that. So just provide a name, SendGrid demo, and just provide details based on your preference. Yes, and as you can see over here, you can see a package.json file. So the name of the project, and we have no dev dependencies yet, so we'll be installing one right now. So let's open up the terminal and install Axios. So Axios is a library used for fetching JSON data using REST APIs and making REST API calls. So as you can see, dependencies Axios has added to the file, and we have also node modules in it. So let's move on to the code part. So this is our entire code. This is my folder structure basically. After installing the dev dependencies, that is Axios and package.json, we'll have these all files within the folder, right? So let's close this and let's focus on the code. So this is the entire code. So initially I'm requiring Axios using this variable. So this is the first procedure you do it, and over here we have an object with four keys, that is subject, heading, description, and image URL. So we have an image URL as well. So we are going to send this entire thing within the HTML templating. So we have an object over here, and we have a variable called HTML template. So this is template strings within JavaScript. So if you are familiar with template string, how to use it, you might get this easily. I'll just provide some good documentation of whatever which is required for this app, like template strings and how to use Axios and things like that. So it will be an easy task for you to go through things quickly. So this is template string. So what it does is basically that it can feed dynamic data as well. So as you can see over here, within the HTML tag, I'm using the object key, that is the subject, not the subject but the heading, the image, and the description. So within the paragraph, I'm dynamically adding data from another variable. So this is how you can do it. So templating works in a similar fashion. Either you can send it a static template, or you can send it dynamic template. So this is how you can send a dynamic template. So the values you can change over here based on your preference, URL also, and you can just feed in data like this. So this is template strings within JavaScript. So this is that variable, and this is the entire HTML code, by the way. So from HTML end to HTML start, we don't have the head and title, so you can add it if you want, but just for the demonstration purpose it is quite simple. Now we'll move on to the function which is call method, and over here we're using Axios. So as you can see, Axios is a promise to base library. I'll also provide the documentation for Axios. I'll just show you. So this is the documentation for Axios, and how to install it, npm install Axios, and how you can use it. You can read this entire thing, and there are multiple ways to do the same exact thing. So I'm using this approach, so you can provide what method you want to uh, use, that is post request. It can be either get, put, delete, whatever you want. What endpoint you are going to use. So this is our endpoint, and if you have any headers, you definitely will have headers. So we have an API key which we need to put it in the header section, as you can see over here in this manner. So this is what your API key will look like, this entire thing. So whenever you will use the header with authorization as a key, you will be using barrier in front and then your API key. So your API key will basically start from SG and some random characters. So this is going to be your API key, and barrier in front. So this is going to be a header, this is your URL, this is your method, and this is your data. Basically it's your body which you are going to send with the post request. So as you can see over here, so this is the request body which you need to send, and these are some required one. So I'll just show you. So over here you can see required ones, right? So these are not optional. You need to provide this detail to the body, or else the API won't work. And this is the entire thing. This is an array of objects to, where this is the email of the recipient who is going to receive your email, and the name. So this is the email. These are two. So at a single time you can send 1,000, uh, you can send to 1,000 recipients. So with one call you can send maximum items up to maximum recipients up to 1,000 recipients basically. So I'll just show you the documentation. So over here you can see two, minimum one, and maximum 1,000 recipients. So you can send this email to 1,000 recipients at a single call. So you can put 1,000 objects within this array. So two over here is an array. Basically it's an array of objects, and within that you can feed 1,000 objects at a single call or a single time, right? So this is your recipients data, this is going to be your subject. So as you can see over here, I have used templating right over here, right? So not like a variable I'm storing it and such like that. I'm directly using this templating over here within this template strings, and dollar sign and curly braces dot. So I'm accessing that object variable object dot subject, which is over here, from this particular variable or object, JavaScript object, right? So once you have provided the data, you are going to provide the from the sender's data basically. So this is my email, and you will have to provide it only once. You don't have multiple senders, right? So one sender or multiple recipients, and this is a compulsory parameter if you don't choose to provide a template ID. So whatever template you create within the SendGrid's UI environment or ecosystem, you have a template ID. So you can dynamically use that template ID to feed in the HTML within your email. So either you need to provide the template ID of the template that you have already created, or else the content. So over here, either you can select a plain text or an HTML type. So as you can see over here, content, array of objects, right? You can send either a plain text or a HTML. Plain text will simply have some random text with no HTML formatted data, but with this kind of a parameter, you will be able to send the entire template, right? So with type, you have to choose text slash HTML, and with value, you need to provide the template which we have already created over here. So this is the variable, or you can either directly feed in the template in the value itself. So this is a better option. It's preferable if you use this approach because it's more cleaner. So this is how you can entirely structure the data to send emails. So these are my recipients, and this is the sender, and it's going to be a post call. This is my template, and this is my object. So you need access to be installed, or you can use any library, either fetch or http request promise or whatever you like. So let's open the terminal and node app.js. As you can see, there is no response available, but we'll be checking our emails. Let's go to email. Okay, so it will take a minute, and as you can see over here, we have an email from OkayDexter. So this is from SendGrid.net, OkayDexter send it, and you can see the recipients over here from OkayDexter, and we had two recipients. That was Abhishek Izawa, and another one was Abhishek Shaji 1994 at Gmail. So we had two recipients, as you can see over here. We had two recipients and a single sender, which is OkayDexter, right? So this is an entire HTML documented file as an image, and we can also provide a link. That was a link, and this is an H1, and this is a basic paragraph tag. So as you can see, you have fed dynamic data that into that HTML template into the email. So based on your preference, you can create a more complicated HTML format and send it for your own purpose. This was just a basic demonstration of how using SendGrid you can send templates within your email for multiple recipients. So as you can see, we had two recipients, and this is your subject and this is your email, right? So yeah, it worked, right? So this is the code, and I'll just make sure the code will be available in this description. Do check it and do alter it. If you have any queries, do comment in the do comment down below. And yeah, this was it for this video, guys. And summarizing this entire video, we are using SendGrid, the email sending service, which is this one, and the Node.js approach, or the language for sending templated emails, which is this one, uh, within your emails, right? So this is the code for it. If you have any queries and concerns, you can comment down below. And yep, this was it for this video, guys, and thanks for watching.